Hey y'all, I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning into my video. I really appreciate the new subscribers. I am new to this. The reason why I started reviewing the Braxtons is because I've been watching their show since before I was a teenager, and I felt some type of way. Felt like Tracy Braxton's husband was being treated in a way that is just totally unfair, and I had to make a video about it because I just felt like it wasn't right the way that they were doing him. On another note, I did want to say thank you for continuing to watch my videos, because I think I need speech classes. The way I pronounce words, I stutter. It kind of throws me off when I'm watching my videos back, and I know it has to throw other people off as well. So please bear with me. I appreciate you anyways. Like, I'll be rewatching my videos and I'm like, Krista, what the world? Like, the way I pronounce certain things and the stuttering, and I have so much going on in my mind. I do not convey the message that I want to as clearly as I want it to. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in anyways. And I have notes that I wrote down, because see, I could go off on a tangent like I did just now. I have notes that I wrote down so that I could remember what happened during the episode and remember my actual thoughts that I had as well. In the beginning, there was a scene with Toni and Miss Evelyn, Toni's mom, and Toni is trying to get Miss Evelyn to tell her what type of guy that she wants. Toni suggested a retired basketball player, and the mother said that they may not be right in the head because they got hit in the head or whatever. Now, I didn't think in basketball you get hit in the head like that. I thought that was more so a football. Anyways, and Toni said that she would like her mother to be with a man who has a lot of money. So right there, I agree with wanting your mom to have a man who has his own money, who is not a financial burden, who can buy her things, take her out without having to worry about him ruining his budget or whatever. I get that, but I just feel like they can be so shallow with the men that they choose. And with the Braxtons' attitudes, I don't think that they need to be that specific. If I'm being honest, the Braxtons are really not anything to want like that. They are some beautiful women, but the attitudes on these women and the issues that they have in their families, and with it being on TV on top of that, they need not to be that picky with the men that they want. I think they should be wanting more for their mom than that. Like, the first thing that they say is he should have a lot of money. A man definitely should not be broke, neither should a woman. But at the end of the day, I feel like they need to think a little bit deeper whenever it comes to these men, okay? Because the men who got money sometimes don't be shit as well. I feel like a lot of them who has money, they know women are going to come after them. Hence what Toni just proved by saying she wants her mom to be with a man with a lot of money. Like, everything is not about money. Unfortunately, in this world, we do need money to live, but that should not be like the end all be all of you choosing to have a relationship with somebody. And I wish people would understand that, because you can get with somebody who has money, but money does not mean that somebody will love you and care for you the way that you want them to. I just think she needs to be careful with that. So now there was a scene with Tamar and Carlos King. I have heard about Carlos King. I never really watch his videos like that. I'm not entirely sure what he does. I think it said he was a producer. Hold on, let me look up what he...
A television production company, Kingdom Reign Entertainment, which produces shit.
Oh, so he is the founder and CEO of Kingdom Reign Entertainment and creator and executive producer of OWN's Love and Marriage Huntsville. I never watched that. Love and Marriage DC and Love and Marriage Detroit. Okay. Tamar said that it was a secret that she held on to pertaining to Tracy. She said that Tracy wanted to tell her story. Like, if anybody knows tell me. I guess the secret was that she was sick, but I don't get it. Like, going to that scene where they had that live podcast with Tamar and Carlos, he said that she was the breakout star, which Tamar has a huge personality. Had and still does. Personally, she got on my nerves. She still does. They ran clips of her famous lines, "You too much," "This is doing the most.org," stuff like that. And most definitely she was a breakout star, because then her career sort of took off from there. She was married to Vincent Herbert, and he was able to manage her career, which they had a lot of issues with, because having a husband who's your manager, yeah, that's going to be difficult. But Tamar is very difficult herself. You can see it on screen. She's difficult, and I ain't going back on that. But I didn't know that Tamar was a friend of the show, because I thought a friend of the show, they really don't have their own scenes. Like, they have scenes with the main characters of the show. So I didn't know that she was just a friend of the show. For example, Marlo Hampton, when she didn't have her peach in Real Housewives of Atlanta, that means she was not one of the main stars. So when Marlo didn't have her own peach, she was not included like in the introduction of the show. You look at the pictures of the show, you see Tamar in it. So, because they don't have much of like they don't have much of an introduction like they did in the Braxton Family Values. But you see Tamar in the pictures where it says the Braxtons. So I'm like, she's a friend of the show. She shouldn't have her own scenes. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Like, if that was the case, then she shouldn't be in there. She shouldn't be. Because Marlo showing up wasn't when she didn't have her peach. But anyways, Tamar said that she has to be mentally responsible. I totally get that. Tamar said that since season 3 of the Braxton Family Values, she's been wanting to quit, and I think she should have. But if I'm being honest, y'all, Tamar is Tamar's own issue. Tamar, I've never seen any friendship or relationship that she has brought to the public has had a huge falling out.
Tamar, you fall out with everybody. I don't have no friends. I don't have no employees. Who did I fall out with? You fall out with everybody. I don't fall out with anyone. Oh my God. Who did I fall out with? Who was I falling out with?
Only one I could think of that she never really fell out with like that was, I think his name is James, the Patti LaBelle man who was singing about the pies. He seemed like such a sweetheart. I say seemed because of course I don't know these people in real life, but the way he comes off, he just seems like such a nice and just fun to be around type of person. And I feel like Tamar drains the life out of him. It's good that Tamar is saying that she needs to focus on her mental, which I think she does, but I think Tamar and her fans need to be honest and say that Tamar is her own biggest issue. Tamar is the most entitled person. She cannot blame that on anybody else. At some point in your life, especially when you are about to hit 50 years old, you need to say and you need to come to terms with the fact that you are responsible for your actions and for your well-being, especially whenever you have a child of your own. So, okay, Tamar is a friend of the show. I don't know how she's just a friend of the show. Okay, if that's what she says. I don't know if she was joking. You know what? I think Tamar, and I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but I think Tamar definitely has narcissistic personality disorder. Just the way that she acts and behaves. It's almost like the rules that she tries to implement on other people, or the standards that she has for other people, it's like she does not have to uphold it herself. And it's just so many other things that Tamar has done in her behavior over the years that I've known of her that just shows just how much of a narcissistic type of person that she is. Like, I would not be surprised that she does have NPD. She definitely is going through something mentally, but I think she needs people around her to be honest. And I do not think that she will keep people in her life who is going to be straight up honest with her, because people say Tamar is sensitive, but I think it's her ego that gets hurt very easily. It's not hard to hurt Tamar's ego, and I think that's the sensitive thing. Just like people say a man's ego is very sensitive, Tamar has one of those type of egos to where you don't even have to be trying to correct her or critique her. If she feels like you are, she is going to instantly get annoyed. I've seen this on the Braxton plenty of times, and she's going to be in defense mode. If she could take it, she needs people, and I don't think she can take it, but anyways, she needs people around her who is going to be honest, brutally honest, like she is with people. Brutally honest, and tell her, hey, you need to work on yourself, because she does. And I say Tamar needs people who is brutally honest, because she was the self-proclaimed brutally honest person of the show and the first several seasons of the Braxtons. So my thing is, if she can dish it, the honesty, she needs to be able to take it. Okay, so moving on to the scene with Miss Evelyn and her friends. Lord have mercy. So I didn't realize Miss Evelyn was that freaky, but I should have known, because her children sure are, especially Miss Trina Braxton, when she was popping on stage that one time in the Braxtons. Yeah, I should have known. And all of the other things that Trina has said and done. Yeah, Trina is a freak, and yeah, she get it from her mama. I'm sure she do. But I never thought that we would hear about Miss Evelyn and her expressing her sexual needs. So the scene was Miss Evelyn, Judge Maybelline, who I never really watched like that, but I've done seen her in movies and stuff. I never watched her court. I'm a Judge Mathis fan. And it was another actress. I think she was the maid from the Jeffersons and the actress daughter. They were trying to get Miss Evelyn to tell them about the type of man that she would be interested in. Why do they just feel like they need to be with a man? I feel like women and men both complain about past lovers and how they were so scorned by them, and how they'll never trust another B, they'll never trust another N-word, and they are the first ones to just be so eager to get into another relationship. Miss Evelyn needs to fix her attitude before she thinks about any man coming into her life. She just has a I don't know, she's snippy. She comes off as very, very snippy, snobbish as well. She don't play the radio, and I think is what her ex-husband basically, that's how he depicted her character when they were at that dinner scene at one time, and he was saying, you know, you thought you had the perfect marriage, you think you're perfect and you're not. And I definitely think that's true, because I feel like the Braxtons, they don't smell the crap that they regurgitate. They think that their ish don't stink. They are very prideful of being a Braxton, which I feel like you should definitely have pride in who you are and in your family, but you are not. I have got to calm down. Y'all are not the hottest things on this earth. I'm sorry. So anyways, they was asking Miss Evelyn, you know, what does she look for in a man, or what does he have to have? And then Miss Maybelline was like, some sense. And I said, I don't think Miss Braxton wants somebody with sense, because if she had somebody with sense, he would have sense enough to know that he should not be with a woman like her. Nasty attitude and daughters to match. I'm just saying. Like she said, I'm just saying. Miss Braxton, I don't think you want somebody with sense. I don't. Then she said a bag. She wants a man with a bag. Oh Lord, there it goes again. How about, maybe it could have been cut out of the scene, but how about a man who has a genuine heart? What about that? Whatever happened to that? So I had to buy a new memory card. My memory card ran out of space. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue with the video. Why in the world don't she says anything about their character? He did mention he needs to have some sense, but it's like you just focusing on the money. Money is not everything. I'm gonna tell you, what he needs to have is patience. Patience enough to deal with you and your meddling daughters. I don't know, but it just comes off as if the Braxtons Like, they look at these relationships and look at these men as if it's a game, as if there's something to play with. It doesn't seem like it comes off genuine. Like, they're always thinking about what the men could do for them, and they are like really, really shallow and surfacey with their relationships, like how it looks. And for example, I remember when Tawanda was like, Trina knows that Gabe is a bird, cheap, 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 you know, basically saying that Gabe doesn't like to spend money. And once again, money, to have money is important, but I don't think that that should just be the first thing that you are looking for whenever you are trying to find a person to have a viable relationship with. You need to be able to have trust. That person needs to be capable of loving you. Their family needs to be sane, because especially if you are a family person, the Braxtons are very, very family oriented. I would think that they would look for that. It's just the first thing I always hear about is money, and he's tall and stuff. At the end of the day, that's not going to keep them a relationship. So that's why I get so irritated with them when they're talking about these men that they want and the standards that they have for these men. And it's like, okay, y'all are some pretty women. Your wigs on tight for the bald ones, your haircuts are on point, lipstick, makeup beautiful, you sit with your legs crossed, whatever. But y'all are not the whole package to be that picky with these men. Y'all need to work on your attitudes, work on yourselves. Do not put wanting to have a relationship at the forefront of your priorities. They need to work on themselves. They need to heal themselves. I hear them often talk about how, especially if you saw the Ayanla Fix My Life episode, how they aren't healed all the way from their parents' divorce. If y'all are still affected by that, which I'm not trying to judge them for it, because if something still affects you, it affects you. Don't you think that you need to solve that issue within yourself before you create another relationship that is like your parents that hurt you so bad? I would think that. Miss E. Yeah, a bag shouldn't be the first thing you need to worry about. You need to get yourself together. I really think that. But I was like, these ladies are freaky. Like, why are they? Miss E was like, she's what, 48 or 49 in spirit or something like that. Like, she's 49 in her spirit. And then the other lady, one of her other friends, was like, she's 30 in the spirit, and spiritual beings. What did she say? She said spiritual beings vibrate. They vibrate on a higher level, or they choose to vibrate, or something like that. I know what she meant. She said she chooses to vibrate on 30. When you choose to live your life on a higher frequency than what the hell is going on this earth. Yeah, I get what she was saying. But they sitting there talking about, I thought I was bad when it came to stuff like that, because you can't really say nothing around me. I'm one of those people who, if you say balls, like, I will laugh. That right there cracked me up, because I said that's how I would be as an older person. Yeah. Just naughty. So then they moved on to Toni going to her eldest son's photo shoot. He's very handsome, and I know Toni has to be proud of him pursuing his career that he wants to have as a model. And I think really that is good for him. I'm proud of him as well, because I remember watching the show and seeing him as a young little boy. So I just pray for his happiness. I hope that he is strong enough to not let the industry get to him, and I hope he has a strong support system around him. But he just seems like a real nice young man from what I saw. So, and it made me a little emotional. I didn't cry, but when Toni was like, you know, you'll always be my baby boy, you can tell he wants his independence. And I said, go ahead. He wants to be able to navigate his life on his own, and I give him props, because especially being out there in LA. You hear about the drugs, the parties that they have. I know that can happen in any state, but it's really bad in LA and Hollywood. I just don't want him to get caught up, but we're not going to speak that. I don't know. I feel like it's a jungle out there, and the industry can be very predatory, and I imagine that it would be intimidating to get into without having your mom's help. So cool, all props to him. I wish him the best of luck. Now, did anybody notice he sort of looked like Babyface? I don't know, just me. Like, I know he also looks like his dad, Carrie, but the way he act, his demeanor, his mannerisms, it reminded me of Babyface. His haircut and everything. But Carrie, I remember seeing some scenes with him as well in the Braxton Family Values, and he was pretty laid back. He does share similar mannerisms with his dad, Tony's ex-husband, Carrie. So yeah, that was just a thought in my head. Going to the scene where little Kevin had a seizure. Honestly, I feel so bad for this little baby. He lost his mom. He's losing his wife. From what I understood in the scene was that Olivia called him and told him that she finished the divorce. Did hear him say that she said she would extend the process, something like that, but she just went ahead and went on with the divorce. So he felt like he was blindsided. I do feel just bad for him. He lost his mama and he's losing his wife. He said Olivia is taking full custody of his son, and I don't know the full details of why they are getting divorced. So I really don't feel too comfortable on speaking on it like that. I do have my theories, but like I said, Kevin is going through enough. He already has a lot on his shoulders, so I don't want to say too much without hearing more information about it. It was a scene that Trina and Miss Evelyn was basically trying to give him advice, giving him advice on keeping his head up. And Miss Evelyn was like, "Now you stay in that boy's life, because he needs you." Miss E needs to practice what she preached, because if that was the case, she needs to be the one that is advocating for little Kevin and big Kevin mending their relationship. I don't know exactly what the heck is going on. This space that they're in right now is not, that's not good. After Tracy died, big Kevin lost his wife, little Kevin lost his mom. They need each other. And I don't know exactly what happened to cause that rift in their relationship, but something has got to give, because I feel like it's a huge misunderstanding. Miss Braxton just blew me with that comment. Like, how is you going to tell little Kevin to stay in that boy's life, yet you are not helping the relationship between little Kevin and his father? You're not. Especially if you're letting your daughters continue to like run his name through the mud like that. Like, come on now. When Miss Evelyn made that comment about little Kevin going through the valley of the shadow of death, I don't know why that made me uncomfortable, but it did. Can we not use that term when it comes to Kevin, especially since he just had the seizure? Like, let's just be a little bit more positive whenever it comes to this situation. Let's focus on him getting better, which I feel like to help him get better, one of the things that would be a tremendous amount of help would be his father getting along. They need to work on their relationship. Bad mouthing his dad, that's not doing anything, because who else does he have in life? Honestly, it looks like he's depending a lot on Tawanda. And I'm not sure if Tawanda isn't coming off like she's being genuine, if you ask me. Y'all know what hurts me? I really did think Tawanda was like just a really level-headed type of person. And I still do think she is. And I don't want to make her, I don't want to make it seem like I think she's this villain character, but that's just how she is coming off right now. I know Tracy wouldn't appreciate the things that she's doing, causing like a bigger rift between her husband and her son's relationship. She's coming off as the villain. If you go back to like the previous seasons, it's like the things that she says just make so much sense. For me, it's one thing for somebody to talk about wanting to be better, wanting to right their wrongs, but whenever you're actually calling yourself out, you show your flaws and you speak about them and you say how you want to get them better. Like, I admired that about her. She came off as very, very patient and understanding. Right now, I don't know. It's not, I'm disappointed. I am, because I did like Tawanda. Tracy was my favorite. Trina was my second favorite. Trina and Tawanda was tied. Excuse my ashy fingers. I think I like Trina a little bit more, but yeah. So it hurts. It hurts a little bit. It don't hurt, you know. It's like, oh man, like dang, I really did like you. So that was my little review. I hope I got the messages across like I wanted to. I doubt I did, but if you have any questions for me, just let me know. Because I feel like if you ask me, if I get asked specific questions, then it's like, okay, then I could delve into answering the question and not forgetting the points that I want to make, especially if it's like a specific question. Yeah, I'll stick to the point that I'm trying to make and not go off somewhere else. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I appreciate you, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.